not paid to be a role model. I am paid to wreak havoc on the basketball court.
There's the pass to Leitner. Puts it up. Yes! Is it the shoe?
I was going to rip his heart out. I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been.
One of the world's most talented athletes is retiring. It is true what somebody said today. There was Babe Ruth and Muhammad Ali and Michael Jordan and Wayne Gretzky.
Gretzky in front. Saved by Flaherty. The rebound. Score!
Favre just threw it perfectly right over him to Corey Bradford. Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say.
This is WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.
Game on! Game on!
Welcome, everybody, to the Monday edition of WHPC Sports Talk here on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Oh, we got a big one today, boys. I am Matt Leonard. I am joined always by Josh Umahi.
What's up, Matt?
It's a good day, Josh. Football is back. It's like Christmas.
But it's like a really good day for me, though. I don't know about y'all. Ross is me and Ross, yeah.
We'll get to you later, Josh. We'll get to Ross first. But
I'm doing good, though.
Okay, Nico Each, what's up?
Man, I'm a little sad about yesterday, but at least I'm not a Cowboys fan.
See, now that's out of bounds. I didn't
Ross, for a brief, I have to skip you for a second. I gotta go to the Cowboy fan. Erik Williams, just please respond to that.
I'm angry.
Ross Levine, how are you feeling today, Ross? For real?
I'm feeling indifferent.
Okay.
I'm feeling indifferent.
I feel like most of your team's fan base, maybe the New York Giants fans, are ecstatic right now, and you're indifferent.
Well, I'm happy for the team. I'm happy for the coach. The reason why I'm indifferent is because I don't know if I believe Daniel Jones, and that's why I feel indifferent. Okay. I love the coach. I love Barkley. He looked fantastic. The defense stood in there. They did as best I possibly could.
They were on the field.
They were on the field. They stopped Derrick Henry to somewhat of a good degree.
Who was the guy I don't remember his name. Who was the Giants player that laid out Derrick Henry? Who was
Crowder.
Oh my God! I've never seen anybody hit him that hard and he falls down.
You know what? If you want to go the super positive route, and I don't feel this way about the Giants, but if you want to say that hit in the game as a whole, I mean, Dable going for 2 to win the game instead of tie it. I mean, you've watched such, wimpy behavior from Joe Judge, Jason Garrett, Bob McAdoo. I mean, it's a nice change of pace. I don't know how Giants fans feel about
Wait. So when did Clippers legend Bob McAdoo coach the Giants? Am I missing something?
I said Bob McAdoo.
You said Bob McAdoo.
Ben McAdoo.
I was like, when did an NBA Hall of Famer and Clippers legend coach the Giants? That's kind of crazy. Yeah, no wonder it went bad.
Yeah, Bob McAdoo was definitely not. He was tough.
I know.
He was tough. Ben McAdoo, on the other hand, so it's a nice breath of fresh air if you're a Giants fan, but even one of my friends who's like a huge Giants fan, their first comment was their team, the Giants are over 500 for the first time since the Obama presidency.
Oh, in a season? You're saying in a season?
In a season.
Oh, come on, man.
And you look
it is true, but why?
You look at their next 3 games too. It's Carolina, Dallas, who we'll get into with no Dak, and then the Bears.
That very well could be 2 out of 3 if they play like this. Could
you imagine? I don't think they're that good.
No. But if they play this way, that's 2 out of 3.
You start 3-1.
Yeah,
start to a season.
I'm glad that the Giants they made the halftime adjustments they were supposed to. Because that's something that I did not see with Joe Judge or Shermer or even McAdoo.
If all those coaches you just listed, if the Giants are down 13-0 in that game yesterday under them. Are they winning that game?
No, not even close. We're losing 40-7. That's how embarrassing that game. It was embarrassing. But I think the guy that I don't want to say it changed the game because I look, you gotta give Barkley all his credit as well. But Dable getting to the face of Daniel Jones, that I did not see that coming. I really did not see that coming, and that's something you would not have seen with Joe Judge. That's something that you with Shermer at all. And look, he's making a reminder that you have to be really good this year, basically, to stick to the New York Giants. Otherwise, you're gone. Even though I think it's inevitable that they're going to have another quarterback, and I think when I saw that before them getting the touchdown, I'm like, there's no way this guy's lasting a whole season. But when he got the touchdown, I was like, wow, maybe he woke him up, and he woke up Saquon Barkley a little bit, the whole offense, and you saw a big difference in the start of the third quarter. I mean, two quick touchdowns right away. I mean, so you got to be impressed with that.
You brought up Saquon Barkley, and the big narrative I'm seeing on social media today and on all these sports shows is
he's back.
He's back. Saquon Barkley is back. What, did he ever really, leave?
Well, he was hurt.
What are you talking about?
No, because hold on.
He was hurt.
He was hurt, exactly, and the Giants' offensive line, we know, has been nothing to sneeze at. So
well,
you combine that, it's not like he was great in 2018, 2019, and he just fell off a cliff. Now, that might be true in terms of, stats and performance.
Yes.
But that performance yesterday was always in him.
Well, no, of course it was. I think last year you saw where he took what the defense gave him, and that's something you did not see a year prior. You would see last year when Barkley did play, it would be him dancing in the backfield.
Yep.
That's what you would see. You did not see that.
Trying to create a play.
Yeah.
Not because he had to, but yes.
Yeah, but I think that's what you saw different, is that he took the 3-4 yard gains instead of losing 3 yards. And I think that's different, and that made the offense go forward. Look, we all know, this is for any team, but especially for the Giants, they cannot afford being second down 15. They just cannot. If they're in second 15, it's a long day. So if they can get it to 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 2s, or 2nd and 6, Dable could open up the playbook. Mike Kafka could open up the playbook. That's something that, and they could be actually aggressive. That's something that Jason Garrett did not do. Jason Garrett was just bland. So that's the difference.
Speaking of aggressive, and you brought up Jason Garrett, just the difference in how Dable handles Jones after a real stupid mistake throwing that pick.
Oh, it was a horrible interception.
It's just terrible. But you saw him after the sideline. He wasn't, giving coach speak to him and next time. No, he was really hard on him because that's a terrible decision. Why are you throwing that ball?
It was horrible. It was a horrible throw. And first when I thought about it, I thought the first live it was like Barkley, he left his route. But then when you really look back at it, no, that's on Jones. That's squarely on him.
Maybe he didn't know where Barkley was going, or maybe it was a poor decision, poor throw, all of it combined. Maybe, who knows?
But the problem with Jones, and this is what I've seen throughout his time with the Giants, he stares down receivers.
Oh yeah, that's been day one. The problem.
He didn't look anywhere else on that huge play. Didn't look anywhere else but Saquon Barkley.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's that. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's teachable. I really don't know if that's really teachable. And look, that it could be the end for Jones if that continues, for sure. But look, you look at his statistics overall, he didn't play that poorly. He went 18 for 22 or 18 for 23, so his complete percentage was really good. He had the touchdown. He did convert that 2-point conversion with the throw.
Yep.
He did some good things. The fumble, you don't want to see that, but
especially from him with that problem for years.
Yeah, and that was a blindside block. The guy missed his assignment, so you can't. It's not the worst fumble I've seen from Daniel Jones.
Yeah,
but look, he has to take care of the football, and that's the key. If Daniel Jones could take care of the football, I think they could be a decent offense.
Absolutely, and I hate to play devil's advocate here, and if Giants fans want to debate me, 516-572-7440 is the number, as always, to join the show, but I hate to be the devil's advocate in the room, and that the Giants, it's a great win, and they showed a lot, like we've talked about all season. Win-loss doesn't matter. They need to show us they're progressing. They showed that for sure.
They beat a good team. They did.
Yes, but I feel like, they only beat that good team because of a missed field goal.
Of course.
In a key spot.
Well, yeah, but...
And it wasn't exactly like there was a ton of pressure on the kicker. It wasn't almost blocked, nothing like that. He just straight up missed the game-winning field goal.
Well, he also shouldn't have been in that situation to begin with.
That is true.
Case. And look, you can thank Tennessee for a 3rd down, 1 tight end, whatever that end around was. That was one of the stupidest decisions I've ever seen.
That was like a Philly special without throwing the balls. I don't know where they were going with that.
Yeah, and they had a chance to put the Giants away in the first half. They did not. They settled for field goals, and look, you can't blame the kicker. Well, yes, you can blame the kicker for the end of the game, but it's not all on the kicker. It should never came down to that. And look, thank Tennessee for making the mistakes. Thank their offensive coordinator, and that's how you get back in the game. The Giants, in the past, we wouldn't get breaks. We don't get breaks. This year, this week, we finally got a break.
To start the season, no less.
To start the season, and that's what you want to see with a new coach. What I love is that Dable believes in these guys. That's what I love because I love he believes in them because I certainly don't. But good for him. Yeah, well, he's the head coach, and
yes.
He's around these guys. And look, I watched 2 New York football teams. I watched Dable believe in his team, and I watched Saleh did not. So that's a fact. Saleh did not have belief in the team, and I like Saleh, but he just didn't.
That's a good transition from us. I want to go right there to the Jets now on the other side of this equation. Giants had obviously a big uplifting win. It wasn't quite, a blowout like the Jets lost in to the Ravens, but I'll start the Jets talk by saying this. I was watching that game. You guys heard me all week. I'm rooting for the downfall of Joe Flacco against his former team, obviously. And then the game started, and I was texting some of you guys, this game is not going how I want. It's only 10-3 and whatever. But at the end of the game, I was happy. I was satisfied by the Ravens' performance against the New York Jets.
If you're a Jets hater of any kind, or Flacco
I don't hate the Jets. I love the New York Jets. I do not like Joe Flacco.
If you hate Joe Flacco or hate the Jets and you're watching that game, it's weird. I don't know how to feel about this team. I mean, I was really high on this team coming in about all the young talent they have, and the second year of Robert Saleh's, culture, trying to shift the culture. I mean, but like Ross said, it don't look like these guys believe in him. It's weird. I don't know what it is, but and you saw the Jets fans booing yesterday.
Well, they should. Well, they should. I mean, look, I think. Well, look, it was a packed house. And you have it's 9/11, so a lot of fans are there. It's open game.
Yeah, New York market is obviously a way bigger deal there. So yeah.
Yeah, so they expected a competitive game, and look, I don't think Saleh believes in these players yet, and that's a big thing. I think the players believe in Saleh. I think I think I meant it this way. Saleh doesn't believe in the players here. That's what I kind of have a belief because, look, and to an extent. I don't fully blame him in the sense that, look, you have Joe Flacco. He's 37 years old. I mean, really, what do you expect? The problem, though, is he threw the ball 59 times. I mean, that'd be
an issue.
Yeah, that's relying way too heavily on Joe Flacco, if anything. And the running game, which was working somewhere in the beginning, he got away from it, and that's on the coach. I'm sorry that you can blame the offensive line. The offensive line was a disaster. But that's on the coach because the running game was going well. And honestly, what I would have liked to see more is Garrett Wilson get more targets because he looked pretty good. Yeah. The young players looked decent. The defense wasn't bad. The offense was the problem. I'm not going to blame the defense. The offense was the main issue.
And on the other side, you saw Jermaine Johnson, the young rookie that they drafted in the first round, make a lot of plays on defense. And I'm going to break the golden rule of sports talk radio real quick. I'm going to take something back. I said earlier I don't think the players believe in Saleh. I take that back. He obviously everywhere he's been, San Francisco.
Well, players believe in him.
They love Saleh.
Yeah. But does he love them back, or they love him?
And does he keep them prepared enough? Here's a wild stat from yesterday.
I could see that.
Here's a wild stat. The Jets had 26 more plays than the Ravens and 104 more yards.
And they lost that bad.
How do you lose that game 24-9? How did
it was closer? That can happen. Obviously, like field position in the battle for all that is the thing. But wow.
But you know how that happens?
24-9.
You give up big plays.
Yes.
The big 55-yarder from Lamar Jackson to Rashad Bateman. Beautiful throw.
Yeah.
Another 25-yard touchdown to, I believe it was, he tossed 2 to Devin Duvernay yesterday.
He did.
Look out for him for fantasy football. But yeah.
Where am I in the waiver order? Hang on.
My team is a disaster.
Play above Nico. Oh God.
My team. Then in one league I did good, but the other league I wasn't. Not looking.
You were not prepared enough.
No, I wasn't. Who am I to call out Robert Saleh, right? But yeah, you just the safeties. It's a big problem with the Jets. They give up too many big plays. We saw that last year. We've seen that in years past. We saw it again yesterday, and that's supposed to be an improved secondary. And with the stats I just give you, they didn't play terrible. They hung around in the game. It's just when it comes to execution, and again, Lamar Jackson is a superstar. Joe Flacco is not so much.
No,
so that was the big difference in the game.
Hey, Joe Flacco's elite. Don't you talk smack?
Okay. Maybe.
I mean,
I don't think if you're a Ravens fan and you're like, because I know some people you say it, Matt, all the time.
They want like Flacco over Lamar, and I'm like, what?
Imagine having Lamar Jackson watching this guy week in and week out.
Contract situation aside, being ungrateful for that is incredible.
That's wild.
Incredible.
That's wild.
I could never.
Yeah.
I could never.
Looking back to the glory days of Joe Flacco, when you have Lamar Jackson right here, a little weird to me.
This is not me talking trash about Winston, Josh. I know you're a Saints fan. You love Jameis Winston. If you had Lamar Jackson over him, would you not be like praising the football gods?
Absolutely.
I mean, Jameis is good. He's obviously very good, and he played very well yesterday. We'll get to him in a minute. But
Famous Jameis.
we'll get to him. He ate that dub yesterday.
He sure did.
But seriously, like, if any team had Lamar Jackson, I'm not calling him the best quarterback in the NFL. I don't think he is.
Right.
I think a lot of teams having Lamar Jackson would be grateful, and Ravens fans somehow, most of them are not.
You know, it's funny you bring that up with the Saints because Sean Payton had multiple chances to get the next franchise guy. I mean, he was on the Fox pregame show yesterday talking about, we almost had Mahomes. We almost had Lamar Jackson. First of all, I don't want to hear that right now.
Because you had Drew Brees, you know.
Yeah, but, there's nothing wrong in drafting your successor. But I don't want to hear that from Sean Payton right now after the fact.
well, yeah, I mean, look, I think but at the end of his tenure at the Saints, you can tell he just did not want to be there. I think that's really a big part of it. I think so.
Ross, that people are shocked when I say I'm kind of relieved that Sean Payton isn't the coach anymore. And people look at me like, what the hell are you talking about? Are you crazy?
Why do you say that?
I say that because, like Ross just said, it seemed like he was checked out last year. The weapons that we didn't have last year. We watched Jarvis Landry. We watched Michael Thomas, who's healthy. We finally drafted a receiver for the first time in forever. Like he
Still don't know what that's like. I still do not know.
As a Packers fan, you really don't. But he prioritized the wrong things, and then just the Taysom Hill stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw yesterday. He's fine when he's a wildcat Joker card type role
The
player.
Swiss Army knife.
But he's not a quarterback.
No.
Why are you trying to play him a quarterback?
No, he's not.
Maybe one or two plays a game to throw people off because he can throw the ball better than most of your other guys can.
Yeah,
but still, like, you don't start him a quarterback. You just don't.
Yeah, he was
Tell you
forcing it.
what, I'll take Sean Payton as a
I know you would. I know you
I'm
would.
sure you would right now. We'll get to you later, too. But
Isn't that where I feel like he's going to end up if he does go back to
Dallas?
Yeah.
McCarthy's on a hot seat right now.
Yeah. I feel like that's where
McCarthy's been on the hot seat for... When did he get there?
when he first got hired.
2 years ago.
Pretty much. Since then, about Mike McCarthy's been on the hot seat, and I feel like when I listen to Dallas fans, and they're right. He's been a terrible coach there.
From the second pen got put to paper, Jerry Jones is like, well, the clock's ticking. Good luck.
Jerry Jones already has it written out.
What?
He does.
He already has it written out.
Sean Payton?
And this makes it even better. You see Mike McCarthy, he was very upset last night when he heard Dak went out.
Yep.
Yeah.
He was highly upset.
Because he knows, he's like, how long is Dak out? Yeah, within that time, I'm being canned. What, 6 to 8 weeks right now? Yeah. In that time, Mike McCarthy will be fired.
What are we winning at most? One game? Because
you're saying when time Dak's out?
Yeah.
Let me take a look at their schedule.
You really want to break this down. I mean, if Cooper Rush is the guy,
no,
really?
He's not.
I'm saying,
not
the guy they're going with, I'm saying, that is true.
They should, I'm telling you, they're not going to do this, but they should trade for Garoppolo. That's their only shot.
That isn't the worst idea in the world, though.
They should.
Not outrageous.
The 49ers won't trade Garoppolo now, though.
They won't.
Not now.
No,
not if they lost to the Bears yesterday.
That's a good point, Nico. That's a great point. Trey Lance, I know it was the weather and stuff, and it was the first start of his career. But
that's not the first start of his career, actually. No, it's not.
I think first. Well, yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, he started games declared the starter kind of thing.
Exactly, but first time he started, and he wasn't, driven in by injury.
Kind of like the Mahomes thing. They rested Alex Smith in the last week of Mahomes' rookie year, let him go.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was his first real big NFL test.
But that's a great point by Nico too. By the way, Trey Lance looked not just yesterday, but in terms of training camp and what Shanahan reportedly thinks about him. They might want to hold on to Jimmy G.
Trey Lance was 13 of 28. That's not good by any means. 164 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick.
And by the way, Justin Fields. People gotta stop sleeping on my guy.
I don't want to hear Justin Fields was good yesterday. It's not because of my Bears slander. I don't want to hear that.
I don't think
He was 8 of 17, Josh. The man threw 17 passes and completed 8 of them.
Oh boy.
Whatever.
I mean, you gotta cut both of the quarterbacks some slack. It was playing in a really bad.
That is true.
Yeah,
weather game.
And Fields. I mean, look, I don't think he's going to be a great quarterback for Chicago. That's a really bad situation. It's just a bad spot.
That's what I want to piggyback off of, because if anybody wants to look at this season when it ends and look at Justin Fields' stats, first of all, he has no offensive line, limited weapons. Darnell Mooney is his only weapon.
I mean, you got Montgomery in the backfield who's supposed to be like a big running back.
He's a good running back, but
he didn't play well yesterday at all.
I'm talking in terms of like receiving targets.
Yes.
You can't, if anybody wants to claim, oh, Justin Fields is going to be this or that after this year, look at what the Bears have surrounded him with.
That's exactly like the Giants and Daniel Jones. But like, how can you evaluate Jones last year as opposed to this year's much better situation for him?
Well,
even Zach Wilson, look at that. Last year, Zach Wilson obviously didn't play the full year. There was some injury concerns there. Yeah. But Zach Wilson, his number one receiver was Corey Davis. And now Corey Davis moves to number 3 role behind two guys that have a lot of hope for, in Elijah Moore and Garrett Wilson. Wilson, we always said, Zach Wilson, that is, this year, no excuses. Daniel Jones is here. All the talent they got him, no excuses. Justin Fields needs a year like that to really prove it.
He got a ton of excuses this year. The Bears are terrible.
Exactly. They're really, really bad. I'm happy about it, but they're really, really bad.
Oh, yeah.
Right, and they changed their coach. So that's
another thing.
And I'm not a fan of their coach either.
It'd be one thing if they brought in, the Giants bring in Dable. That's a positive for Jones.
Well, did you really think Nagy was that good of a coach?
No, not at all.
Well, that's the problem, though, that they had a coach as is that wasn't a very good coach. They fired him, and they brought in a guy that's, again, it's hard to judge. It's not his quarterback.
For sure.
So you don't.
But what I'm saying with the Dable thing is, we knew that was a positive for Jones no matter what. Because there's at least not an excuse to changing of the coach with Dable. He's always credited as, the guy that made Josh Allen or the quarterback whisperer, those kind of things we heard. You bring in a guy with that kind of reputation to a team with a struggling quarterback, that's not an excuse. If anything, that's an excuse on the coach if the quarterback performs like crap.
Yeah, the coach really has nothing to lose. I mean, you're basically telling your quarterback going into the season, take some shots. I mean, really, What do you have to lose? I mean, if you really think about it, if Jones isn't the guy, then Shane and Dable can just go up to John Mara and be like, hey, it's not our quarterback, it's not our players, give us some time here, and, we're going to pick our own players here. So he really has a free season more than anything.
That is true. Real quick, Josh, you said Justin Fields played well yesterday, because I want to read this stat out.
All right.
The Bears' leading receiver yesterday was former Giant Dante Pettis, right?
Had a big play.
That was the only play he had, and he was the leading receiver. His only reception was the 51-yard touchdown we all saw, and he was the leading receiver by double the next guy, who was Montgomery out of the backfield with 3 dink-and-dunk passes for 24.
Well, like Eric said, the weather was a factor, and
of course, but still,
Fields did make a lot of big plays, not only with his arm but on the ground.
Yeah. Yes, we know we had that ability. Yes,
we know they play the Packers. For some reason, it's on Sunday Night Football.
Hell.
Yeah. But I'm interested. I'm I'm happy it's on Sunday Night Football because I want to see.
Well, it's the rivalry. I mean, whether they're good or not, it's kind of like Yankees, Red Sox of football.
Facts. But I want to see how Justin Fields also does.
In primetime?
Primetime, second year, first primetime game of the year. Team's not very good. What are you going to show me against Aaron Rodgers on the other side? Everyone's expecting you to get stomped out. Let's see what you got.
If the Packers lose to the Bears, I would panic. I would panic. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But no offense, Bears, but I'm sorry.
1 week from today, we will be sitting in this room, all of us again, and Sunday Night Football will have come and passed a week from today. If the Bears beat the Packers, I don't care if it's by 20, I don't care if it's by 1 on a last-second play. I don't care. I'm going to come in here stomping the alarm bells. I swear to you.
How about a bet? Because I remember what you said about if the Saints lost to the Falcons yesterday, I should not even show up. And I almost didn't come in today, but last second field goal.
The Falcons did what they do.
Yeah,
Josh has a whole research paper on that. I swear, Josh has a list of Atlanta mishaps.
Wow. I mean, they blew a 16-point lead. I mean, what are you really doing?
Yeah, they used to that over there in Atlanta. So
You want to get into that? You want to trash Atlanta, but we'll recap the Saints game real quick. And obviously, Josh, your Saints had an amazing, inspiring Week 1 win, 27-26 over the Falcons. Right. Huge comeback for them. Mm-hmm. But Atlanta has a tendency of doing this. So what do you got? Give us your little report on Atlanta sports.
So,
Atlanta sports.
No, it goes across the board.
We'll start with the Falcons, right? Because like we've just said,
it's obviously the big one in the Super Bowl.
They have a long history of choking,
I'd say.
And let's just go through the list. So I'll start with first off their franchise history before 2012. I mean, before they got Matt Ryan and Matt Vick. Mm-hmm. I mean, what a pathetic franchise, right?
Yeah.
We'll start there. But let's go to 2012. NFC Championship game against the 49ers, Colin Kaepernick.
Yep.
You blow a 21-3 lead. Best team in the NFC. Remember Ross? The
I
Falcons
do.
stomped out the Giants in that one game.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I remember.
And that team was incredible. Julio Jones, second year. Matt Ryan, like fourth year. They were supposed to do some things.
Yeah,
Nope.
they were the next thing in Atlanta, but no.
Nope, they blew it. And then let's fast forward a little bit. We all know 28-3, right?
Yeah.
28-3.
I love that. My favorite part about that is the night before Matt Ryan won MVP.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then the MVP of the Super Bowl. Let's see if he could beat Tom Brady, the GOAT.
Oh.
And then, no.
Well, that wasn't even. I don't blame Matt Ryan for that Super Bowl loss. That was.
Oh, I don't either. That's fully the defense quitting on the team.
Yeah.
Pathetic. They let a man that kisses his son on the lips to come back from 25 points
You
down.
just come out and say it.
Yo, because listen, that's the most disappointing thing about that. Come on, man. Yeah, Tom Brady on the ropes.
We were talking about it. That video leaked like an hour prior to game time, and that was like, whoa.
Come on, man.
Wow. I think we all became Atlanta fans at that moment.
I know the Patriots are the biggest dynasty in football, but you had them 25 points. And now it's not even just a 25-point second half lead.
Yeah.
They were up 25 points, 2:38 left in the third quarter.
Just kill the clock.
Really.
Kill the clock.
And then after that, then it just became their thing, right?
Yeah.
30-20 lead blown to the San Diego Chargers. Back when they were the San Diego Chargers.
So we're talking way back.
Way back. 17-point lead blown to the Dolphins. Last year, 2 years ago rather, 39-24 lead blown to your Cowboys, Eric.
I remember that game.
The onside kick, first of all.
That was over Coop.
When you kick onside, you got to know you can touch you're kicking. Or you're the receiving team. You can touch the ball at any time.
It's not a punt. It's not a punt.
The ball.
You don't have to wait for the other team to touch it. What?
I forgot what game that was. I used it 7-point lead. I was like, it's not. Oh, wait.
Yep.
There was about 3 players around the ball. They all just looked at it.
I know.
What?
Grab the ball. Why are you looking at it?
That was the greatest throw of last year. Oh, my God.
And that's not it either. You know, last year, 26-10, same lead they blew yesterday. 26-10 lead blown to Mitchell Trubisky, the MVP, right?
Wow. Damn straight.
That might be the worst one.
Wait, last year?
Last year, yeah.
Wait, he played for the Bills?
Actually, no, 2 years ago.
I was like, when did he get in with them? Josh Allen was just in.
Yeah, 2020 season, my bad. Because there were no fans in the stands.
That's right.
And then
we were clearly not there.
This was last year. 24-7 lead blown to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And now you have the Saints.
The rest of Atlanta's sports.
You have a chance. Saints Falcons is a very underrated rivalry to me. But you had your biggest rival on the ropes. You have it. If the Saints lose this game, I got to come here today and have all of you guys just laughing at me. How could the Saints lose to Marcus Mariota and the Falcons? How could that happen, Josh? Well, it ain't happen because the Falcons do what they do. They do what they do, and that's the thing. They might have you on the ropes for one half, maybe 3 quarters. But listen, we were down 16 and it was bleak. But I wasn't in the group chat crying. I'm like, watch what happens here. They gonna do what they do. They gonna do what they do.
Michael Thomas on the sideline foaming at the mouth like a rabid dog.
Jameis Winston. Let me find the stats on his fourth quarter because, like I said, the Falcons had him in check pretty good in the first half. He was
great when it mattered. Really. He won the game.
212 yards in 1 quarter of football.
The fourth quarter.
Yeah, in the fourth quarter. Oof. 1 quarter of football.
Wow.
1 touchdown to Michael Thomas. Boom. Another touchdown. Boom. Tie game. Falcons have the ball in Saints territory, 4th and 1.
Yep.
And nothing. They get nothing.
I remember I sent you a text, something like, oh, they're down there and get a field goal. You text me 2 seconds later. Well, we're already in field goal range.
Already? It took a big 40-yard pass to Jarvis Landry, who was double covered, by the way. But, the Falcons, double coverage, they still going to mess it up, right?
Double coverage by the Falcons, like half of a regular person covering.
They still going to mess it up. So, we got in field goal range right away. Jameis Winston, great clock management. And even though the refs, you know how the refs do the Saints, no call.
I don't want to hear that go on.
The no call is pretty bad, but I'm not going to go there.
That one yet. I don't want to hear refs yesterday. You won.
They tried really hard.
You won. I don't want to hear a ref.
They tried really hard, but you just can't stop divine intervention. That's what the Falcons blowing leads. Falcons blowing leads. You can't stop that. No matter what you want to do as a referee, give them the game. You can't stop it.
I'm all for you saying Jameis is good. You're bringing the man upstairs into this. I'm like, why?
Listen, the football gods, they've cursed the Falcons. What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
We've seen it. What do you want me to say?
The NFL hasn't. The Falcons have hurt the Falcons.
That's true.
That's probably true. At what point do we determine the Atlanta Falcons an endangered species? When does it get on that list? But I mean, I gotta ask. What?
Yeah. Oh, I just want to go real quick into the Atlanta sports.
I have more, but you go about that. You go.
Yeah. So again, it's not just a Falcons thing. It's a Georgia sports thing.
Oh, yeah.
Remember the 60-win Atlanta Hawks in the 2015 comp?
Absolutely.
Oh, wow.
Here comes LeBron James. Bye-bye in 4 games.
LeBron James with no regard for human life.
Won 60 games and got swept by LeBron James.
That didn't look like a 60-win team after that.
Who was even on that team?
Al Horford.
Oh, that's that team? Oh.
That was a little cute. Oh, we have 5 All-Stars or something like that. Yeah, we saw how that worked out.
The Hawks that beat the Knicks were way better than that team, just saying. Look, recently with Randall and that, with Trae Young beating Randall, that was a way better team. They didn't have near the pedigree that team had going in.
You're reopening old wounds by saying that, but
it's true though.
It's true. I continue though.
It's honestly a shot at the Falcons. I mean, the Hawks, if you really think about it.
Yeah, but it's Georgia sports.
Go on.
The 2012 Mets fans in the room. We remember the 2012 wild card game where Braves versus the Cardinals.
Oh, you're gonna bring up the reason we have certain rules now.
The fly rule. You know, it's the beat that keeps on rolling, right? It's just the beat that keeps.
Freddie Gonzalez. I can picture him coming out of the dugout screaming right now. And oh my God!
Let's stick with the Braves too, because they're talking about the Mets collapse all the time. They were up 2-0 in the '96 World Series.
You went so far digging.
No, because I love it. This is well documented history.
I love it.
Why are you talking about the Mets collapsing when that's all you do?
You want to go even further with that World Series Braves in the '90s thing? The Braves won the division pretty much the entire 1990 to 1999. They basically swept the division in the '90s, right?
Yeah.
The Braves went to multiple World Series in the '90s. They were the team of the '90s. They were the dynasty of the '90s. They got one ring out of it.
Pathetic.
Look at that team they had: Smoltz, Glavine, Maddox. You're never going to see a big three like that all go to the Hall of Fame.
Would you say that in like one period of a franchise, that's the best rotation?
Probably. I don't even care who's 4 and 5.
Maddox, Smoltz, and Glavine.
I don't care who's 4 and 5. Postseason rolls around. You'll win. You should win every game.
Yeah.
And then if you really think about the offense they had, Andrew Jones in center, who's a lot of people say is the best defensive center fielder they've ever seen. Not to mention Chipper at third for almost all of it.
Yup.
Are you kidding me? You won one ring?
Pathetic. And you want to go to college football too? Real quick.
Man.
Oh my God! You're going to Georgia Bulldogs here?
Georgia Bulldogs
I know you're going to go.
Had a 27 lead in the second half on Eric's Crimson Tide, and they let Tua Tagovailoa, boop, 41 yards. Bye.
How do you let Tua beat you like that? What is that about?
Come on,
he was cold in college.
For real.
Okay, Tua in college, I admit, was amazing.
Yes. He played pretty good yesterday.
Yeah.
Just saying.
No, he did not.
He did.
This might be a sight to see.
All right. I want to ask real quick about Atlanta sports stuff. Well, I'll get off this topic in a second. But
yeah,
Nico and Ross, you guys are the hockey experts in the room. Did the Atlanta Thrashers ever do anything like this in their short existence?
No. Well, the one time they made the playoffs, the Rangers swept them in the first round.
Oh, there you go.
Josh, do you know what the Atlanta Thrashers are?
I can't say I've heard of them, Matt.
I'm going to show you the logo. Does it ring a bell? There's an expansion hockey team in Atlanta. Where'd they even go? What'd they become?
They became the Winnipeg Jets.
Okay, that makes sense. Got it.
The Atlanta Thrashers.
That was seriously
the second Atlanta team, too.
Oof.
Wow. The Flames, something like that, right? Oh, my God.
My last point on Atlanta sports, because we can all feel this. Mm-hmm. Just the Hawks haven't done a damn thing. The Falcons blow leads like, it's second nature to them.
Yep.
And the Braves, like you just said, just wasting talent.
Reigning World Series champs, you got to give them that. You have to.
I have to, but yes, I'll give them that. But why do you talk so much?
Recently,
okay, more so football, because it's a football show.
Absolutely.
How are you as a Falcons fan going to talk crap to anybody?
You can't.
Even when you're up 21 points.
I don't want to hear, Marcus Mariota is him. Really? Really?
There's a viral tweet of a Falcons fan just going off on the Saints, celebrating the Falcons' 16-point lead.
How did that know better? I mean, we talk about Mets fan trauma all the time with division leads. Ooh. How do they not know unless you're up 40? Even then, I don't know about
You can't even just say, oh, you've seen it before. No, you've seen it like 10 times before. Bro.
You've seen it almost every week you play football.
Come on, man. Falcons. Give me
I mean, what we know now is obviously, every city or state has welcome to wherever. It's like welcome to Atlanta, choking hazard.
Yup.
That's all.
Heimlich maneuver.
You are listening to WHPC Sports Talk on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC. Matt Leonard, Josh Umahi, Nico Each, Ross Levine, and Erik Williams here with you to break down all the games yesterday in the NFL. I want to get to your Cowboys, Erik. I really, really do. I know you requested, you basically made an appointment of time you want to rant about this game. Before I let you do that, I got add some news. If anybody didn't watch, Dak Prescott has a hand injury. The timetable now is 6 to 8 weeks. It's not looking great for the Dallas Cowboys. You predict they may win one game in the stretch without Dak if they don't get a better quarterback in here. And I'll tell you, it's not for lack of trying, though. Jerry made some phone calls last night trying to get a quarterback. We actually got leaked audio of Jerry's phone calls trying to get a quarterback. So take a listen to this.
That was the first hit with Barrett on the completion, and then another one on this drive. It's two separate ones looking very similar.
Dagnabbit, Dak hurt his hand. Well, now I guess I gotta go around the league, make some phone calls to a few friends of mine, get a new quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. Here we go, Jim. Hi, Tony. This is Jerry Jones of the Dallas Cowboys, but you probably knew that. We here in Dallas would like to extend you a formal invitation to come back and play quarterback in Jerry World. Hello? Hello? Let me tell you something, man. You've reached the answering machine of John Gruden. If this is Roger Goodell calling about any of my emails, let me tell you something, man. You best not call back. But if you're calling about that Spider XY banana, man, that's the good stuff. Now, why would nobody want to play quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys? We are championship contenders every single year down here in Dallas.
Oh, Jerry. You know damn well. It's a young man's game. It's a young man's game.
Vontae Davis has a point. Therefore, I am announcing the Week 2 starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys will be Cooper Rush.
That's Jerry Jones and starring some of his friends, Tony Romo, John Gruden, Vontae Davis made an appearance there. Yeah, not looking great for your Cowboys, Erik, huh?
No, I didn't sleep well last night. No, let me tell you, this is how it went. I was watching the game, and I went in the room. I was watching the game in the living room. I went in the room.
All right.
Dak was still playing, and then all of a sudden, I get news. I get a message. Dak just went out the game. Okay, maybe it's his ankle. Maybe he went out the game. No, he broke his thumb. Now, when you couldn't wish for the worst, this is what happens. I'm really like, I'm just tired. I'm tired as a fan. It's ridiculous. Like, Leonard Fournette looked amazing against the defense, but the defense can only do so much.
True.
They held them up to 4 field goals, and Trayvon Diggs, he played well. Downfield in coverage, played well. He didn't bite on the double moves, which they were attacking him on that. Yeah. Didn't bite on it at all.
Mm-hmm. That Mike Evans touchdown, real quick, that was amazing.
It was.
That catch was spectacular.
I think there was a little bit of a push-off, too.
Well, that's what Mike Evans does. So.
That is true. I mean, you know that, Josh.
And the offensive line, they played well until they couldn't. And Connor McGovern, now they're saying that's our starting left guard. Now they're saying he has a high ankle sprain, so he'll be out for another 4 to 6 weeks. So now we're short another man on the offensive line. What can get better for us?
I mean, who's your third guy? Cooper Rush, who's your third string?
Will Greer. Now, let me tell you. No,
okay, no, not getting better.
No, let me tell you. Will Greer played 2 preseason games.
Mm-hmm.
He had 186 yards, 18 for 32, 2 touchdowns. 2 games played.
Okay.
Cooper Rush played 3 games, 17 for 31, 136 yards, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception.
I mean, I feel like the Cowboys are in a pretty much similar situation to the New York Jets were last year. They had to go trade for Joe Flacco in the middle of the year. Because I feel like you really need to understand as an NFL team, if you want to contend, you need a competent backup. You really, really do. I'm not saying Cooper Rush isn't that. We don't know until he touches the field with the big team and everything. I don't have a lot of faith in this guy. I'm not sure you do either, Eric.
I don't.
I don't blame you. I mean, but how did they not go out and get not even a veteran, just a backup that could hold down the fort, knowing Dak has had injury problems the past few years? Maybe something will flare up. You don't know.
It's not really worth it at this point because now you know you have big holes on the offense. You need a receiver. You need offensive linemen. So it's like, do you go in the way of tanking? Because that might, we just might have to do that. I'm be honest with you. We just might have to do that.
You're giving up already?
Dak Prescott didn't look well last night.
And then he got hurt. So.
Yeah, and then he got hurt. So that he'll be out 6 to 8 weeks. I say we only win 1 game, 2 games. But I was disgusted by that performance.
Do you think they beat the Giants without Dak Prescott?
No.
Watch them do it. Watch them do it.
They might.
I think they still will beat the Giants. I think their defense is strong enough they can beat the Giants.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of faith in Daniel Jones. I mean, well, the Cowboys have a good defense, and you know that can give us problems. I was shocked that we beat Tennessee, and I never thought we were going to win that game. I don't know how I'd feel about going to Dallas. I feel like playing against Dallas is still a nightmare.
Yeah.
Can I just I want to say something about the resident Cowboys fan and sports media, Skip Bayless.
Okay. Please say this.
So 2 things, real quick. He tweets during last night's game where Tom Brady, he led the team to the win, but they only scored 19 points and
only scored 19, of course, yes.
212 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 66.7 completion percentage. Skip Bayless, Tom Brady, greater than ever at 45. Never ever seen anything like him. Yo, like shaboing boing, man. Like, stop. The Tom Brady, like, love. I can't. Like, he played. Okay,
wait.
I'm sick of Tom Brady.
He wasn't being sarcastic, Skip Bayless?
No, he's that serious.
I thought he was being sarcastic.
Like, how do you, again, Tom Brady
if that was sarcasm, I'd be like, lay off Brady, he's the GOAT. But he was serious.
Tom Brady's the GOAT. We all know that. But even when he plays, even when he's mid, we gotta, like, the slurpage, really? We got to do all that?
Oh, wow. That's a word.
And then Skip Bayless, this is the big one, right? Cooper Rush can be just as good as Dak. What?
No.
What?
Because, okay, let me put it like this.
Please do.
The game last year against Minnesota, he had Cooper, Cedric Wilson, CeeDee Lamb. Didn't have Gallup, but he still had those other 2 receivers we don't have now. He comes
and the O-line was stronger then, too.
Exactly. So he plays next week. Say he plays next week. You don't have that receiving core. You don't even have Michael
CeeDee
Gallup.
Lamb, and that's it.
That's it.
Really.
CeeDee Lamb and
Costco
CeeDee Lamb's
employees.
CeeDee Lamb and CeeDee Lamb's clone yesterday, Noah Brown.
And
he looks just like him.
He does. Oh my God.
And they don't even use Zeke, which is
that's a crime.
He only got 10 carries yesterday.
Well, I know. He's on my fantasy team. He really just.
That's why I say McCarthy has to go because he comes in. The offense looked very fluent in that first drive. Run the ball. He's hitting the gaps. He looks sharp. Then you come back and you're not running the ball. You're coming out 3 and out, all pass plays. And then you go back to the run game when we're down 12-3.
Kellen Moore is kind of where I want to go next.
Maybe he can play quarterback for the Cowboys. He may be better than Cooper Rush. If you think about it, maybe.
But we talked about it, I think it was on Thursday, about Kellen Moore, right? He just, even when he had the offensive line intact, had Zeke, had Tony Pollard, he would throw 40 passes with Dak, and Dak is a good quarterback. But I'm like, you win the game in the trenches. You have these great resources to run the ball in front of you. Why aren't you using them? Why you want to run trick plays with Dak in the passing game all day? It's fun to watch, but what are you doing?
Dak really showed he's not a pass-heavy quarterback last night. Really, he showed that. Well, I mean, he was exposed. Even with the receivers, we only CeeDee Lamb. He was being doubled.
Yeah.
But, he has this guy, Dennis Houston. I guess he was a guy that he liked in practice. This isn't practice. This is a real game. You're going against first stringers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, there's a reason why Prescott, I think he's a good quarterback, but there's a reason why he was a 4th round pick. He's not. There's flaws to his game. I mean, for sure. I mean, the injuries are definitely a big part too. But look, we saw this when Jason Garrett was there. The offense was good because they had playmakers. Mm-hmm. That's why Jason Garrett was good.
Jason Garrett also he knew how to utilize the run game as well.
Yeah, it was since he's left, and really even when he was the head coach. Oh no, when he was a head coach, the offense was still good. But when he left, I feel like Kellen Moore and Garrett are similar in the sense that if they don't have the playmakers, they're not as good as you think that they are. They're not. I think they need a lot of help. And look, I saw it with Garrett with the Giants that he didn't have the playmakers, and he just wasn't creative. Maybe Kellen Moore is similar. Maybe he's that type of guy where he's just not creative. And look, Mike McCarthy's in that category too.
Oh, definitely not creative.
I actually wouldn't say he's not creative. He's a smart guy, but he overthinks himself a lot.
Kellen Moore?
Yeah.
Okay,
true.
yeah.
He outthinks himself a lot. Like, just keep it simple. Run the ball.
You seen a few plays he did last night. It was just like, what are you doing? You're trying to get cute.
Their first drive, they did that weird end around. After two good runs from Zeke. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
You'd pull that in the third quarter to surprise some people, maybe. Yeah. I don't get the timing of that.
And it's especially bad because if it's on the first drive, it's a scripted play.
Mm-hmm.
You scripted that up? Really?
Yeah.
Now, this is where I get on the front office and Jerry Jones. You know that all you have is CeeDee Lamb going into the season. You lost James Washington. He's out. And you don't have Gallup. Now you're coming in with 4 Costco employees and CeeDee Lamb. You have notable free agent wide receivers. Now, I'm not going to say OBJ because he wouldn't be back either. But you have T.Y. Hilton, Will Fuller. Some people say, okay, AB he's a head case.
He would fit right in with them, let's be honest here.
And Cole Beasley, who used to play for the Cowboys.
Oh. He's older, but still, that could be better than what you have.
He would especially help now because what does a backup quarterback need the most? A guy that can just get open and slide.
Yeah, reliable veteran target.
Yeah. I think I have a quarterback for the Cowboys. And
if you say you're shipping Daniel Jones to Dallas, okay, good, go on.
No. He's been a journeyman. He's played for like 10, 11 teams.
Oh, say it.
It's 2 J's.
Oh.
That's the initials.
Oh, you thought he was going to go Fitzmagic.
I thought he was going to bring Fitzmagic back. I was like, please.
He retired.
No. Josh Johnson.
Oh, the guy that was in for the Jets last year a little bit, right?
That's the Jets quarterback. He was playing for the Jets a little bit last year.
Yeah, because when Mike White got hurt after his Wilson went down,
Yeah, for one game. And
that wouldn't be the worst thing.
Yeah, that's not the worst thing. Johnson could fit in well. Everywhere he's gone, he's been pretty good in limited snaps. That wouldn't be a bad option for the Cowboys. I mean, he obviously knows the NFC East very well. He was with Washington. He was with the Giants. So, I mean, that's not a bad option. I mean, your other options are, what are the other options? It's really not much if you really think about it. I mean,
you can get like a backup quarterback, you take a flyer on maybe with potential. You mean a guy like Jimmy G, we said it earlier, is not going to be traded right now. No, high-level backup quarterbacks like that are not going anywhere.
Yeah, Gardner Minshew. I mean, what else?
I wouldn't trade him if I was Philly, though. You never know. The way Jalen Hurts runs the ball, I would never trade Gardner Minshew.
I like Gardner Minshew. I really do. I think he's capable to be a starting quarterback.
Imagine him, the way he dresses and looks in Texas. They would love him. They would love that guy in Texas.
Oh, they sure would. They sure would.
I want to bring this up to you, Eric. We all talked about this on our text chain last night, right? We saw, Josh first sent the picture of when the Bucs played the Saints on Sunday Night Football. And they did their picks on Sunday Night Football. And Drew Brees was like, you know what, I'm going with the Saints. But everybody else, including the America pick, was voting on Twitter. All went with the Bucs, and Drew Brees was, I'm going with my Saints, and he ended up being right.
Smacked him.
Now, I trust Drew Brees a lot more than this other clown, but they all picked the Bucs last night, and Jason Garrett decides to go, I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
He was being biased.
We all thought Drew Brees was being biased, but he ended up being right. Jason Garrett just looks like a fool.
You know, somewhere in the back of my mind, even though, I have full confidence in my team to win games, but somewhere in the back of my mind, I was just saying to myself, we're going to lose this game.
Going in?
Going in. We're going to lose this game because I had to really think about what we have on offense. And what
it's also
we're
week one Tom Brady. He doesn't lose.
Yeah, the big weakness and the big strength with the Buccaneers. First, the strength, I'll go here. They stopped the run. And I thought the Cowboys did a pretty good job running the ball yesterday. But their weakness is their secondary. But if you don't have the guys, like you said, it's CeeDee Lamb and who else? If you don't have the Costco. If you don't have the guys to take advantage of that, it's like it really cancels out. Like you can't take advantage of the biggest weakness, and that's tough.
Everyone else in football, you establish the run game to open up the pass.
Yep.
I mean, even a weak secondary, they expect pass after pass that the Cowboys have done in the past. No pun intended. I feel like if you expect all this passing attack, even with the weak secondary, if you can plan for it, you can stop it a little bit.
Yep.
But if they establish running it like they did, then just go away from it completely. That doesn't look good.
Listen, and that's what's disappointing about the Cowboys' performance yesterday. The Buccaneers have cuisines and buffets in that secondary, and you know who's going to be eating W's next week? That'd be famous Jameis. He definitely going to take it.
Tell me they're the 425.
I believe they are.
They better be.
They are.
No offense to the New York Giants. Why were they in the Titan 425?
Yeah, that's a question mark.
Packers and Vikings made sense to me. We'll get to that, Nico, in 1 second.
But it's at 1. Why is that 1 o'clock?
Is it 1? What is the NFL trying to do here?
What the?
That's so stupid.
I want America's game of the week to be Jameis eating a W against his former team.
What is the game of the week?
I think America's game of the week is going to be the Bengals and Cowboys.
That's actually a good. But they probably didn't know Zach was going to get hurt, so that's a good point.
That makes sense, like without hindsight.
But knowing that you're going to watch Cooper Rush against Joe Burrow and the performance he put up, why would you not flex your game to there?
Yeah.
Why would you not?
Hey, NFL.
I mean, I think it's too early in the season to flex, really. But
hey, they might have to act.
I don't know.
They might have to act quick on this one.
And then, oh my God, these are not good games. 425 coming up. It's wow. So the game of the week is going to be like we said. Wait, no, hang on. Bengals Cowboys on CBS. That is America's game of the week.
Okay.
The America's game of the week is likely going to be either Falcons Rams or Seahawks Niners. Who planned this?
Wow.
So they knew the Seahawks Niners. And you said
Falcons, Rams. Those are the 405s on Fox, depending on your market.
So they knew they had Saints Bucks week 2 sitting right there.
Big NFC matchup. We know Fox is big on the NFC.
What the?
And if you get the effort to this, the CBS games that could be Bengals, Cowboys. That'll probably be the national game. The other ones in that time slot are Texans at Broncos and Cardinals at Raiders. That could be interesting. But I'd rather watch Bengals, Cowboys than Cardinals, Raiders. With or without Dak, I'd rather watch that game. Is the national intrigue with that?
The first 2 weeks, like you talked about Giants Titans this past week, it's weird.
I get it. If it was on TV for us because we're local, I get that. Why is that the game on 425?
I don't know.
Like, why wouldn't you put even Steelers Bengals in that spot? That was a great game.
Steelers, but
that game was awesome.
First of all, I told y'all about the Steelers, the Black Forces energy that Mike Tomlin and the entire team.
I was one of the only people that called slow Joe Burrow start and Steelers win. I was right on both.
Listen, the Black Forces energy in the first half, they were smacking Joe Burrow around crazy.
Minka Fitzpatrick really embodied that energy last today. Like,
yeah,
he did. Of all people on that defense, he embodied the Black Air Force energy.
And you know what? The Bengals, they get the last second touchdown to tie it.
Yes,
and then you said Minka Fitzpatrick with the big play to block that kick that leads to your team winning. That's a hell of a performance by Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah, I was telling you before, don't talk about refs when you won, but obviously the Bengals lost. If they complain about refs, I'm fully with them. Jamar Chase was in.
You think so?
Jamar Chase was in.
It was a hell of a catch, though. Like, you can't deny that.
In or out, amazing catch.
Yeah, that I was actually really sad that wasn't.
I think a little too close to call, but
that would have.
It's one of those call in the field stands in of evidence kind of things. But
we had some great games yesterday. Man.
We did. I mean, week 1 started off big, and you kept saying, Josh, we're the biggest NFL season ever. You're off to a good start on that prediction. The NFL's off to a great start, unless you're a Green Bay Packers fan, Nico, like us in the room.
Oh.
We had to bring it up because I mean I'm not trying to take shots at you or me, but I hate what I'm about to say. Mike Merlo, if you're listening, you were 100% correct, and he called it. He said weeks ago, Packers losing by 2 scores or more, and he was absolutely right.
So I have a question for not Jair Alexander. Because he's not in control of scheme, right?
No.
I'm not going where you think I'm going with our ongoing debate.
Where are you going?
Corner. I'm going the defensive coordinator, Joe Barry.
Yes.
Why? There was a screenshot yesterday of Justin Jefferson in the slot. You have Preston Smith covering him. Yep. Jair Alexander is outside on a running back. What do we do? Like, I get you have your scheme, right? But
yes. But Preston Smith, the defensive ends, like outside linebacker, big dude covering Justin Jefferson.
You got to mix common sense in with your scheme a little bit.
I wouldn't care if it was even Rasul Douglas covering Jefferson, even on a play like that. I don't care. Any corner or safety covering Jefferson, I'm okay with over Preston Smith.
That's
wow. I wouldn't trust him to guard a tight end. I really would not.
Do you? Because I know in the scheme, Jair Alexander. He's been there his whole career. I know Jair Alexander doesn't travel like that.
He does, but not like a Darrell Revis would.
Exactly. Or not like a Marshawn Lattimore would, but that's besides the point.
Move on.
But it's if you're a competitor, right? If you're him, you're like, screw the scheme right now. This guy's going off and killing us. I want that matchup. I'm going to Joe Barry. Yeah. I want that matchup.
Oh yeah. If I ever Jair, I'd be like, give me Justin Jefferson.
The Packers have like no weapons. There's just no weapons on that team. I mean, they have Aaron Rodgers, great. There is like very little weapons on that team. I mean, I feel like honestly, the Packers are like the Saints of last year in the sense of receivers. They have no wide receivers on that team. I mean,
you might be onto something.
The fact that there's like 3-4 guys on fantasy in the top 3. I mean, that is embarrassing on the waiver wire. It's ridiculous. I mean, these guys are coming off the street and being wide receivers. You lose Valdez-Scantling, you lose Devontae Adams, and there's like nothing. I mean, you can't name any of these guys' names.
I will say this: Christian Watson was obviously the big draft acquisition in terms of where he was drafted, early second round. I'm already, I can't say fully out, but from what I saw yesterday, I'm so done.
I'm fully out on him.
Did you see when he burned Patrick Peterson, which even at this stage in his career is still not easy to do? He burns Patrick Peterson. Great move. Gets like 3 steps on Patrick Peterson. Rodgers throws a dime right to Watson's hands, falls to the ground. Hits his hands, falls right to the floor.
Yep.
And then he puts his hand on his helmet like, oh man, I should have caught that. No kidding.
It's one, you're going to give up on the guy after one game.
I am.
After that one drop, play, I was, wow.
You cannot afford to drop that ball.
No, I agree. There's no other weapons, though. There's just
great route running, but still, that could have a pass by Aaron Rodgers. You can't drop that ball.
Listen, I know Ross is dead on with the receivers. Like, that's a concern. You have to, I don't care who your quarterback is, you have to have weapons.
Yeah.
And hopefully one of these guys steps up for the Green Bay Packers, but we talk about, like, they have Aaron Rodgers still. They have a top-flight defense. I know Justin Jefferson went off, but that defense is going to be solid, more than solid. They're going to be great this year. But it's like, is their ceiling kind of capped, not having the requisite weapons that you need?
It's not only that. Aaron Rodgers was really deflated after that Christian Watson drop yesterday.
Oh, my God,
He literally gave up on the game.
100%.
I think so. It was terrible.
He went into the tent, did some things, and was like, hey, I'm out.
After he threw the pick, he gave up. It's like he gives up.
Mr. Ayahuasca.
All right, guys, look at the final thoughts real quick. And while we do that, I'm just going to play this to boost my Packers fan mood. Let's pretend they score a touchdown. Eric, what do you got? Anything in the sports world? You want to bash the Packers? You want to bash the Cowboys? Whatever you got.
That Steelers-Bengals game had me on the edge of my seat.
Yeah. Incredible. Great week 1 game for sure. There's 1 o'clock slot, too, to start the week. Oh, my God. Ross, what do you got?
The Giants, I'm glad that I think we have a head coach. I think we have a coordinator. I think we're going down the right path.
Okay, Nico.
I hope Zadarius Smith is late to every practice, every game. I hope his car breaks down on the way to the stadium. I don't want to see that man for the rest of my life.
Oh,
and
my God.
I've been praying on the downfall of the New York Yankees since I've joined the show. But I'm officially praying on the downfall of the Minnesota Vikings.
There you go. Josh, what do you got?
Brady, come out and play.
You ready?
Bucks losing offensive linemen. They've lost Chris Godwin. That's like a wounded animal coming into the Superdome. I cannot wait for that game next week.
My final thought will be also on the Chris Godwin thing. And this is a little story behind the scenes. Josh said to me earlier, Matt, I didn't know this. Chris Godwin has a hamstring. I said, yeah, I have 2. What's your point?
Hamstring injury.
Yeah.
Hamstring injury.
That'll do it for us, though, today on WHPC Sports Talk. Thank you, everybody, for listening. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same station. From Erik Williams, Ross Levine, Nico Each, and Josh Umahi, I'm Matt Leonard saying thank you for listening on the voice of Nassau Community College, 90.3 WHPC.